Hi everyone. Welcome guys. Welcome to today's class. Am I audible guys? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get started guys. And in the last class, we started working on the concept of Jenkins, where we went ahead, where we have seen how do we go ahead, how do we install Jenkins, how do we set up Jenkins, how do we manage Jenkins. Okay. And we have seen the installation of Jenkins. We have seen the installation of Jenkins by using the classic methodology, which is by using Jenkins with the help of Java. Yeah. So this is exactly what I'm going to do today, guys, because I deleted all the previous servers. And with Jenkins, we have also set up what is Docker. So we'll also see why did we install Docker in the first place and where exactly Docker comes into the place. And today we will go ahead, we will execute our first job with the help of Jenkins. Okay, we'll see how exactly this job goes ahead, this job gets executed, and what's the output that Jenkins is going to give us. Yeah. So currently I don't have any servers, guys. Yeah. I don't have any servers. So I'll say launch. I'm going to call this as Jenkins, Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, T2 micro, security groups. I'll just say all ports. Number of servers, instances one, and I'll say launch. So this is our server. Okay. And let's go ahead. Let's get connected to the server. So here, guys, connect, copy SSH. Right. Yes. Hmm. So this is a brand new server, and on top of the server, again, we do not have anything installed, guys. So now what we are going to do is we are going to be going ahead. We are going to be installing everything from scratch and real quick. So we already have the commands that we need. So I'm just going to copy paste them, update the system, and install Java. Yes. So it's going ahead. It's installing everything here, guys. Hmm. So now Java is installed. Java is installed. Now let's install Jenkins. It's going ahead. It's still installing. All right. Looks like Jenkins is up and running, guys. Let's check it out 1 second. So if I say sudo systemctl status Jenkins. Yeah, perfect. So Jenkins is up and running, and Jenkins runs on what exact port here? So it goes ahead, it runs on the port number 8080. Yeah. So let's check it out. How do I check it out? So if I say sudo netstat hyphen ntpl. So what is this netstat hyphen ntpl command for? So this shows Jenkins is running on what port? 8080. Now let's access this. So if I just go back, that is the IP address. Instance. So this is our instance. Just copy the public IP, paste it here, 88. All right. So it's asking for the password. So where is the password located? So the password is located under this directory. So just copy this, go to the folder, go to the server, paste it. But you need to extract this with sudo.
Can.
All right. So this is the password, guys. And guys, so this is one way to run Jenkins. And on the first day, in the first class, I've also shown you how to run Jenkins with the help of Docker. But when you're running Jenkins with the help of Docker, uh, what happens is, again, you know the concept of Docker, right? What is Docker? Docker is just a container. So if the container crashes again, you need to have the entire Jenkins server configured from scratch. Yeah, so that is the problem. So now I'll say install suggested plugins. Getting started. So you see this, guys, what are all this? What are all this? These are all plugins. So what is a plugin? A plugin is simply nothing but a folder, all right? Or you guys can simply say it is like an extension which goes ahead, which uses or which enhances the feature of Jenkins. Like if, let's say if I want to use Jenkins in a full-fledged manner, I need plugins. And without plugins, I can't run Jenkins. And guys, I guess I made a goof up. 1 second. I took T2 micro, guys. T2 మైక్రో సరిపోదు యాక్చువల్లీ. ఎందుకంటే ఈ రోజు ప్రాజెక్ట్‌కి, ఈ రోజు ల్యాబ్‌కి T2 మైక్రో సర్వర్ సరిపోదనమాట. సో మనం ఏం చేద్దామంటే 1 సెకండ్. I can stop it, I can upgrade it, but okay, storage and all that. Let's say launch. Anyways, I have to restart it. So that's the reason I just terminated it. Jenkins, Ubuntu. So T2 medium is not enough, guys. For this lab, you cannot go ahead, you cannot use T2 micro. Why? Because Jenkins, if I'm just running Jenkins, it is fine. If I'm just going ahead, if I'm just running Jenkins, T2 micro is fine. But along with Jenkins, I'm going ahead, I'm running multiple different layers. I mean, making sense. Inside Jenkins, I'll be going ahead, I'll be running, how do I say this? Inside Jenkins, I'll be going ahead, I'll be running Docker, I'll be integrating with SonarQube, or I'll be integrating with the Trivi, or I'll be going ahead, I will be integrating with Kubernetes. So a lot of things. So I need a little larger server. Okay. So go with T2 medium. Minimum we need is T2 medium. Okay. Why T2 medium? 2 CPUs, 4 GB RAM. So guys, one more thing. For this project, use this server. After you are done with this, no, delete the server. After you are done with this, delete the server. So here I'll just make a note of it. Uh, T2 medium. So in Azure, the server type that you're going to go ahead, that you're going to be choosing with, is called as B2S. Okay, B1S is the generic one that you guys go ahead, that you guys choose. But in Azure, go ahead and choose B2S. Got it, guys? Standard B. 2s. Clear? Clear? Okay. So now, hmm, this is a server type T2 medium, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. This is mandatory. Uh, Okay. And keep a security group, all traffic, ports. And storage, also what you do is just increase the storage a little bit, guys. Because this 10 GB is not going to be enough. Okay? The 10 GB is not going to be enough. So just increase the storage by a little bit. So that if I'm going ahead, I'm installing additional components like Docker or anything, I might also need some additional storage. Got it? So just go ahead, just increase the storage by a little bit. Okay. Don't forget that. 10 GB. And number of instances, one, fine, perfect. I will say launch. So this is a brand new server. Now let's connect to the server. Select, connect, copy SSH address, and yeah, go to the terminal. Same thing, guys, same operations. So I'll quickly go ahead, I'll quickly run down Jenkins here. And you guys will also see that when you're running on a larger server, right, on a T2 larger server capacity, the way the server performs is also different. Hmm. Perfect. So now I'm just going to rerun this. And here storage, guys. Storage should be 10 GB. Okay. Storage should be 10 GB. And then let me go ahead, let me quickly run this. Update, install Java. Yes. All right. Java is installed. Let me install Jenkins. Okay, it's just still taking some time, guys. All right. So meanwhile, as this is happening, so let me talk about today's project flow. So how the flow of today's project is going to be executed. All right. So, guys, this is the idea. This is what we have been working on so far. Okay. So here, now what happens, guys? The developer is going ahead, is updating the code on GitHub. So once the code is written, what do we usually do? We test the code, we build the code, we perform code analysis, okay, and we store the code as an artifact. So currently, not we now we are not going to be doing it. Now what we are going to be doing is we will containerize the code, okay, and then we will push the code to the Docker repository. So now we have code management test, and here, so first, this is, let's say this is Sonar Cube testing, and this is OWASP. So what is OWASP? It is a dependency check tool. So it will help you to download and check for binaries and dependencies. OWASP check, and this is Sonar Cube analysis. Okay. And let's say this is build analysis. OWASP. This is build. This is test. This is containerization, and this is pushing to the GitHub. Now, this is exactly what my requirement is, guys. So once a developer pushes the code to the GitHub, we are going to go ahead, we are going to clone the code, we are going to perform some testing, we are going to build, we are going to perform other dynamic testing, and then we are going to containerize this application. And once this application is containerized, we are going to go ahead, we are going to push this application to the Docker Hub, okay, in form of image. Once the Docker Hub has been pushed, from here, we will see how Kubernetes will come into the picture, okay. So as soon as the image is updated here, Kubernetes. So under Kubernetes, now we have something called as Argo CD. Okay, where exactly this Argo CD and all will come into the picture, we'll discuss on. Okay, so from the Docker Hub, you have Kubernetes cluster that comes into the picture. But till here, the actions that I want to perform is here: clone the code, build it, test it. This is CI, continuous integration. And then we will deliver deployments. Again, build the code into Docker image and go ahead and deploy this image. This is continuous delivery, continuous integration, continuous delivery, CI, CD. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's see how Jenkins is going to help us here, guys. So Jenkins is going to go ahead. Jenkins is going to help us perform all these actions in a flow. So now for this lab, we are going to be going ahead. We are going to be performing some certain steps. So we're going to be needing some certain configurations. So here, what I'll do is I will update it here. So I will say Jenkins lab. Oh, I already said Jenkins lab, no? Okay, 1 second. So here we'll say project requirements. Okay. So for this project, what you need is you need a Jenkins server, you need Docker installed, you need Sonar Cube setup. Okay. Uh, Plus you need Linux servers, of course. You need Sonar Cube setup. Then you need Trivi for scanning images. You need OWASP for building binaries or checking for dependencies. Then we need access to Docker registry. Got it, guys? So these are all the layers that you guys need for this particular project. So under this project, we're going to be covering multiple different services which are going to be used in our real-time environment. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, so we install Jenkins. Yes, we install Jenkins. Oops, sorry. Looks like server is disconnected. All right. So once Jenkins is installed, let me start it and check for the status. All right, it is running, guys. It is running. So let me access this on the browser. So instances running. I didn't terminate this. Okay. Select the server, copy the IP, all right? Colon 8080. Password, same thing, guys. Same thing. Now just go ahead, just extract the password from the server. Sudo cat password. So this is the password. So just copy this password and paste it. Enter. Install suggested plugins. So it is going ahead. It is installing all the required plugins, guys. So now what did I do? I went ahead. I installed Jenkins. Okay. Now next, I'm going to install Docker also, guys. Why Docker? Because whatever the different tools I need while I'm working with Jenkins, right? Those I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to build it out of Docker. For suppose, let's say I want to set up SonarQube. I can use it with the help of Docker. Or let's say I want to simply set up Jenkins with Jenkins itself directly with the help of Docker. I can also do it. Docker, I can also set up SonarQube. Yeah. So now, all right, guys. So they're now asking me to go ahead and they're now asking me to create my profile. So I'll say my username is admin, password is admin, confirm password, admin again, full name, admin again, email address, admin at gmail.com. Save and continue. So if you don't save and continue, what happens is every single time whenever you log in, no, it will ask you for password. It will ask you for system password. And this is the IP address where your Jenkins is running. Now I'll say save and finish. Perfect. Jenkins is ready. Now I'll say start using Jenkins. Okay, so this is our Jenkins server, guys. So we just saw an overview of it in the last class. Now we will just leave the server like this here. Now we'll go back to the build server. Now we'll go back to our actual server. And here we will also install Docker. Okay, we'll also install Docker and we will also modify permission. So here if I say Docker, not installed. So I'll say apt install Docker. So now if I say Docker images, all right, so Docker is installed. Docker is installed. Now we will start Docker and we will modify Docker permissions. Perfect. Okay. So now once Docker is installed, guys, now Jenkins, we also need SonarQube for this project. So why SonarQube? You know, once you build the code, you're going to also test the code. So for that, we need SonarQube. So how are we going to use SonarQube is, let me tell you. Manage plugins, install plugins. So what all plugins, install plugins? Huh. So again, guys, one more thing, we also have to install a couple of plugins here. So what those plugins are, let me talk about it. So this is a Jenkins server. Actually, first let me finish up with Docker. So once Docker is installed, hmm, okay, after Docker is installed, so we need to give permissions to Jenkins for Docker guys and Docker for Ubuntu. Why? Because see, if I want to go ahead, if I want to run any command, if I want to run any command as a Jenkins user, so I need permissions. So I'll say user mod sudo user mod hyphen ag Jenkins, and I'll say user mod hyphen ag Docker Ubuntu. Hmm. So now what did I do? So as a Jenkins user, I have given permissions to my Docker stating that I should be able to go ahead, I should be able to run any permissions, or I should be able to run any commands. Okay. Now this is the first thing. Now the second thing that I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to go ahead, I'm supposed to create a Sonar Cube server, guys. That's right. I need what? I need a Sonar Cube server. Now, why do I need a Sonar Cube server? For code analysis, for continuous code analysis. So to install Sonar Cube, what I can do is I can install Sonar Cube in the classic method. Like we can go ahead, we can install it by downloading binaries, or I can go to the official Docker registry. Here, I can simply search for Sonar Cube. We have the official Sonar Cube image. Sonar Cube, scroll down. Hmm. You see this? Just run this command. Just run this command. You will have Sonar Cube up and running. Sonar Cube custom -p port 9000 9000. So Sonar Cube runs on port 9000, correct? So just copy this, paste it. So it is going to go ahead, it's going to download the Sonar Cube image. Hmm. Looks like it is downloading some other binaries also. So now what's happening is instead of me going ahead, me trying to manage Sonar Cube, no, I'm directly asking Docker to manage it. Yeah. So now Docker will go ahead, Docker will manage everything. So we'll just give it some time. Okay, this is taking quite some time. No worries, let it be. And install Docker, then install SonarQube from Docker. Yeah, actually, I'll say run SonarQube from Docker. So what is the command? Yeah, this is the command. SonarQube is operational. That is good. Why am I not able to see it? Is the question. Oh, so it is running actually in the front end mode. So there is no mode defined. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Docker ps -a. This is the problem. This is the problem. Okay, one second. Whenever you are running a container, you need to define the mode, right? So I'll say docker rm-f. I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay. Okay. Now I'll just run the same command, but with a twist. Yeah. So let's say docker run -dt. I'm gonna run it in detached mode. There we go. Docker ps. Now we have a SonarQube container running. It's running on what port? It's running on port 9000. So let's go. Let's copy the IP address of the server, paste it. So guys, on 8080, you have Jenkins running. Come on. So on 8080, you have Jenkins running. On 9000, you have SonarQube running. So this is going to be our SonarQube server. Sonar is starting up. So again, why are we installing SonarQube? In order to perform continuous code analysis. Okay, still the server is kind of slow. Get my CPU utilization. And what is taking a lot of space? It's actually Java is actually what's killing my CPU space.
In real time also we can install SonarQube through Docker Hub, right?
In reality, we install via Docker only.
Okay.
Yeah. So log into SonarQube, admin, install. Okay. Now, what is the old password? So I'll say the old password is admin, new password admin 123 admin. On uppercase letter with some 12 characters. Yeah. Update. So just go ahead, just provide a username and password for your SonarQube, guys, and it's a welcome message for SonarQube. Okay. So we'll just click this on later. All right. So now we installed SonarQube and my Jenkins server is running. Okay, my Jenkins server is running. Now what we are going to be doing is, now I'll just tell you what is that we are going to be doing exactly. So here, browse Sonar on public IP colon 9000 public IP colon 9000. Now, so once Sonar is installed, guys, so now the thing is, you have SonarQube installed, you have Jenkins installed. So SonarQube is running on one endpoint. Jenkins is going ahead. Jenkins is running on one endpoint. And the next thing that we are going to be doing is we will establish communication between SonarQube and Jenkins. We will establish communication. Before that, we will install another tool that is called as Trivy. We'll say install Trivy for image scanning. Okay. So you also need to go ahead. You also need to install Trivy, mandatory for today's lab. So whatever you guys have learned so far, all of these layers will be coming into the picture today. Install Trivy. So how do you install Trivy? Very simple, guys. Just go to the browser, simply say install Trivy. And yeah, Trivy installation. Look at this. Red Hat CentOS for Ubuntu. This is the command. Install Packages, download a repository, enable key, update the system, install Trivi. As simple as it gets. So here, if I just search for Trivi, if I just type Trivi, Trivi is not available. Let's install this. Copy the commands, paste it here. And same thing. Also paste it here. So today we are just setting up the lab environment, guys. Today we are setting up the lab environment. We are going ahead, we are installing everything. So SonarCube is installed, Jenkins is ready, Trivi is installed. Now if I say Trivi, it is going to give me a pop-up here. You see, it has enabled the Trivi. Okay. So now we have almost all the components that we needed to be installed. Now, once all these components are installed, what we need to do is we need to go ahead. We also need to set up appropriate plugins from Jenkins, guys. See, Trivi is a separate tool. Okay, got it. So Trivi is a separate tool component. Okay. SonarCube is a separate tool component. Correct. Jenkins is separate tool component. Okay. So the only thing that is common here is Trivi, Jenkins, SonarCube. The only thing that is managing here, the only thing that is running here is they are running on the same server, but they're not related to any of this from one another. Correct? They're not related to any of these servers, or they're not related to any of these tools one another. So now what we are supposed to do is now we have to integrate SonarCube and Jenkins. And later we also will go ahead, we will also use Trivi. So what this Trivi is going to do, now whenever I want to run an image, now let's say I want to scan an image. So simply say Trivi image Python, or let's say Trivi image Redis. So what this will do, this will go ahead, this will scan the Redis image. Got it, right? But anyways, so now this is the job what Trivi is going to do later. But before that, now I need to make sure that I have to go ahead, I have to integrate my Jenkins server and my SonarCube server together. So how exactly am I going to go ahead? How exactly am I going to integrate is first, we need to install some plugins on the Jenkins server, guys. So what are those plugins that we are supposed to be installing is here. We'll go to settings, plugins, available plugins. So we'll say first Sonar Scanner and Sonar Quality Gates, both of them. Okay. And then Sonar Scanner, Sonar Quality Gate, and then Docker, Docker, and then
Docker pipeline.
I'm not going to use, I'm not creating Docker pipelines. I'm creating Jenkins pipeline. Docker, OWASP, and what else? What else? So Sonar is for scanning the code for continuous code analysis. OWASP is for managing dependencies. This plugin can independently execute a dependency check analysis and visualize result. Dependency check is a utility that identifies project dependencies and check if there are any known publicly disclosed vulnerability. So dependencies is simply nothing but whenever I'm building a particular code, that code needs some additional supporting softwares. So those softwares are going to be handled or checked with OWASP. So OWASP checks if all the dependencies are available or not. Okay. So now install Trivi, and here install plugins on Jenkins. So what plugin? So here we need SonarCube scanner, SonarCube quality gates, not dates, gates. Okay. Then we need OWASP dip check, OWASP dip check, and then we need Docker. Yeah. So these are the tools that we installed. Okay. So these are the plugins that we installed. So now what the other thing that I'm supposed to do is now all the plugins are installed. Let's check it. Okay, success. Now I'll say just restart Jenkins. We'll just go ahead. We'll just restart Jenkins. Okay, now as this is happening, the next thing that we need to do is here I'll say integrate SonarQube and Jenkins. So this is what we are going to be learning next. So how can I go ahead? How can I connect my SonarQube server to my Jenkins server? So the first thing what we are going to be doing is on Sonar server. So you'll say go to Sonar server. So under the Sonar server, you have an administration field, guys. So where you guys can go ahead. So under the administration, you guys can manage multiple different layers of this particular service. So what is the service that I'm going at that I'm talking about here? Sonar service. So here, just scroll down. This is Jenkins. So just let this be. This is Sonar server. So under the Sonar server, you have administration. Go to administration. So scroll down. Now look at this. So this is where you guys can manage the entire administration configuration, guys. But see, there are a lot of layers. We actually don't want these many layers. We don't want these many layers. So what I want is here, you see, you have the option security. So where exactly this security comes into the picture? Now, let's say I want to go ahead, I want to integrate this SonarQube with somebody else. I want to go ahead, I want to integrate my SonarQube with Jenkins. Okay, so that is the current thing what I'm doing. So I'll say under security, you have something called as users. Go to users. So you see, you guys can go ahead. You guys can see there is currently one user, admin user. You guys can go ahead. You guys can create a new user if you want to. Create user. What is the username? What is the password? What is the confirm password? Do you guys want to go ahead? You guys want to give any confirm password? You guys can do this. This is available. This is option. And then under projects, you guys can manage different projects, so on and so forth. Okay. And under configuration, again, you have general settings, you have encryptions, you have webhooks. So webhooks is also something that we are going to be going at, that we'll be using. So what is webhook, guys? A webhook, it is a integration layer between two services. Again, so webhook, just the name says itself. The name itself talks like speaks about it. So here, webhook. So let's say you have two services. One is Jenkins, and let's say the other one is GitHub. One is Jenkins, the other one is GitHub. Let's say you have two services. Now, on GitHub, so where will the developer push the code, guys? Developer pushes the code onto which platform?
Plus.
On GitHub, right? Yes or no? Yes. But when the developer pushes the code to GitHub, now my concern is how will my Jenkins know if there is any change? See, are we going to manually sit under Jenkins and keep monitoring it? Yes, guys. Do you think is that what happens?
No.
No.
So what do you think happens? Okay, let's say developer said they will push the code. Developer said they will push the code at Friday, 6 p.m. Okay. But let's say you log it at 4 p.m. So what is it going to happen? Yes. Any guesses?
Jenkins, it automatically pull the code from the Git when the developer
Mhm.
pushes it to
But
GitHub.
the question is how?
We will integrate Jenkins with Git. We can establish a communication.
Notification.
That communication and that notification is something that is created by webhook. So webhook is something that will help you connect two services. Okay. So whenever there is a push, whenever there is a change on GitHub, now I will tell my Jenkins that, hey, Jenkins, kindly go ahead, kindly pull this change and start working on your job. So to do this, now for this to happen, what we will do is, so under users, you see guys, under actions, sorry, beside actions, you have something called as token. Got it? You have something called as token. So what is exactly this token? So simply imagine a token is like a password. Yeah. So password for what? So me as an administrator user, me as an admin user from which server? From my Sonar server, I want to test the code that is going to be coming from Jenkins. So to connect to Jenkins, I need some authentication. So here we will create a token. Okay. Token. There are no tokens. No tokens. So I'll say new token and I'll just name this token as Sonar. I'll just call this token as Sonar. Okay. And generate 30 days. Just create a token. And there you have a token, guys. So just copy this token, and store it somewhere safe. So I'll just store it somewhere safe. Okay. I copied the token and I stored the token. Now, where this token will come into the picture, I'm going to tell you. So this is a token that we went ahead that we generated on our Jenkins server, right? So once you generate this token, now where I'm going to be using it is, now I will go to my, sorry, this is a token I generated on SonarCube server. Close. So let me document it as go to Sonar server, go to admin, go to administration. Under administration, go to security. Security. Under security, users. Under users token, create token by the name Sonar. Create a token by the name Sonar. All right. So once you went ahead, once you have created this token, now what is that you're going to go ahead? What is that you're going to do? So this token, now update this token onto update this token onto Jenkins server. So how can you go ahead? How can you update this token onto Jenkins server? So here on top of the Jenkins server, now once you go into the Jenkins server, guys, so if you just go back to the Jenkins server, so this is my SonarCube server, no? So on top of this Jenkins server, so just log in. So we just logged out. So I'll say admin and the password is, I believe, admin. Yeah, simple. Jenkins. On top of this Jenkins server, go to manage Jenkins, guys. Okay. Under manage Jenkins, now you have an option called as system. Okay. You have an option called as system. So go to the system. Scroll down under the system, scroll down. Okay. Simply scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Now you see, guys, there is an option here that says SonarCube server. Yeah. So just select this option. Just select this option. Simply say add SonarCube server. What is the name? So I'll just say the name is Sonar. Okay. And the URL. So where exactly the SonarCube server is running? So the SonarCube server is running almost on the same port, sorry, almost on the same server, but with a different port. So this is where the SonarCube server is running. And now to connect to the server, right? To connect to the server, there is a token. We generated a password. Yes or no? We generated a password. So where is this password? So here, currently it says none, no? So what I'll do is I'll say add password, add Jenkins. So what is that I'm supposed to be adding here? So you have different options, guys. So you have a username and password, you have GitHub authentication, you have SSH private key, secret file. What I want is I want a secret text. I'm adding a secret text. Select secret text. Text. Now just copy the text that is being provided. So here on my Sublime text, we have the text here. So just copy this and paste the text. Okay. So just copy paste the text. And once you copy paste the text, you guys can go ahead. You guys can give a name for the server. So what is the name that you guys want to go ahead? What is the name that you guys want to assign? So I'll just say Sonar. Okay. And I'll say add and server authentication. Now I'll just select this, add. Okay. So what did we do, guys? We just went ahead. We added a server. Name of the server, I just named it Sonar. The URL where the server is running, it is running on port 9000, and the token for authentication. So here I've named it Sonar, and in this Sonar server, I have added the text key that has been received from my Sonar Cube server. Got it? So just save this. Okay. So again, now let me just go ahead. Let me just document it. So update this token onto Jenkins server. So how do you do it? So go to Jenkins server, go to manage Jenkins, go to system, under system, Sonar Cube server, add. So here, just add the name,
Path.
IP. So followed by public IP, colon 9000, and then followed by secret. So here, what you do is you just add text, and name, we call it Sonar. So you go ahead, you add your text, and you have everything updated. So we went ahead, we have installed Sonar, we configured Sonar, we added our secret text. Got it? So now once this is done, guys, so if you just go back, here, just go back to the Sonar Cube server. So now on top of the Sonar Cube server, so just go back to the Sonar server. On top of the Sonar server, I updated the token. This is done. Okay, I updated the token. This is done. Now, under configuration, now go to webhooks. There is no webhook, so we will create a webhook. We will create a webhook. So we are going to call this webhook as Jenkins. Okay. Now, what I'm going to update is, I'm going to update the link where Jenkins server is running. So where is Jenkins server is running? Jenkins server is running on this particular IP address. Okay. Slash. So whenever I'm updating a webhook, I should update the syntax, guys. So the syntax is Sonar Cube hyphen webhook. Sonar Cube hyphen webhook, and say create. So now I just went ahead. I just configured the webhook. So now my Jenkins and my Sonar Cube, are completely integrated. They are completely connected with one another. So here, guys, there is one more simple step that we need to perform. So on the Jenkins server, now after you guys go ahead, after you guys have added the Jenkins webhook, go back to the dashboard. Under the dashboard, go to manage Jenkins, go to tools, okay, and just here scroll down. You see something called as Sonar Cube Scanner. So installation. So this is an additional tool. So just say add name. So you guys can go ahead. You guys can give any name, that is up to you. So I'll say Sonar name, Sonar Scanner. Select this and scroll down. Then you have another option for dependency check installation. Select this. I'll call it DC. DC stands for dependency check. Installation directory. So where I want it to install, so I'll say install automatically. Install automatically. Install from GitHub. So what is this, guys? So I'm going to go ahead. I need a dependency check tool, right? OWASP dependency check tool. So this is a dependency check platform that is going to help me in order to check dependencies. So again, let me also add this to the document. Go to Jenkins server, manage Jenkins, add system, okay, and then update the Sonar scanner and dependency check tools. So same thing. Go to Jenkins. Go to Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins. Go to tools. So under tools, what is the first one? Add Sonar Cube Scanner. Add Sonar Cube Scanner. Okay. We'll just say install automatically from GitHub. Okay. Then add dependency check. This is mandatory. Okay. Just name it DC, and again, simply say install automatically. That's it. All right. So once this is done, one more thing, integrate SonarCube and Jenkins. So go to Sonar server. Okay. This is create token, and then go to configuration, webhooks, add webhook, name Jenkins. Okay. URL. So what you update is the public IP of Jenkins server with the port /SonarCube hyphen webhook. Got it? So once you go ahead, once you perform all these steps, now we have our Jenkins server up and ready, guys. So we have our Jenkins server. Yes, my Jenkins is ready. So I'll just say my Jenkins server. And in the backend, I have SonarCube for running my dependency check. And on my local server, I have Docker installed. So with the help of Docker, I'm going to be building images. I'm going to be deploying images. And then finally, we also have a Docker hub, which I'm going to be integrating it tomorrow. So today, we just went ahead. We have seen how do we go ahead, how do we integrate all the different tools, how do we integrate all the different tools that are required for our project. So what are the installations, guys? What are the requirements that we went ahead that we integrated today? Where is that? We created a Linux server, we installed Jenkins, we installed Docker, we started SonarCube, we installed Trivi, we set up OWASP, we configured Docker, SonarCube, and OWASP together. This is exactly what we have performed in today's class. Clear? Any questions still here, guys, on the installation setup of the project? So tomorrow I'll show you how can you go ahead, how can you automate all of this, and how can you do it in the scripting manner. So the idea is to perform all these jobs together, to execute all these jobs together in a scripting fashion. So we will be going ahead, we will be learning that in tomorrow's class. Till now, clear? Any questions? So far, clear or any questions? Kindly let me know, please. Good to
So
go?
all the process we are going to do it in scripting only, right? Finally,
Yes. Everything has to be done via scripting only.
before that, it is just manual process. We are
Before that, this is manual. So this you have to do it. There is no automation here because we are setting up the environment. So when you're setting up the environment, you will be needing different tools from different setup. So you have to install them manually. You have to integrate them manually. Once all this is done, then the CI/CD starts. Like then I will integrate my code, and whenever I trigger the code, it will go ahead, build it, test it, deploy it.
Yeah. In Sonar, we have some conditions like after 90% coverage only it should go to next step. There are conditions where we are going to set it.
So let's say you want to set up your custom conditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the current code, if any new check
So here
introduced.
we have something called as rules.
Okay.
Got it. So these are the by default rules which SonarCube runs across, and you have something called as quality profiles. Okay. So you have some default quality profiles. So what quality profiles? How C is tested, C++, Java, everything. Quality gates. So this is a quality gate where you guys can go ahead, where you guys can set up a custom route. So let's say what is the default amount of code coverage that should happen. So by default, it is set up to 80%. But let's say I can set up to 90%. Let's say code coverage should be 90%. If it is not more than 90%, it should not pass the quality gate. So you guys can set up custom ones also here. This is available. Every project it varies from project to project. In our organization, it is at 75%. The code coverage and the analysis report. So it is at 75%. So if the quality gate comes up to 75%, we are good to go.
Yes. Yeah. Got it.
Make sense? You can customize all that here under quality gates, under quality profiles. You guys can create your own profiles, manage the different rules, understand where exactly SonarCube is picking up the rules that it is testing it from. So we guys can understand everything. And finally, project. So where is my project coming from? Now my project is going to be coming from GitHub, and in the future we will see how to integrate the same project if it is coming from Azure DevOps also. Got it? All right. So guys, tomorrow we'll be going ahead. We'll be finishing up with Jenkins. Now all the documentation, all the notes are updated on the Google Drive. So go ahead, follow that. And if you guys have any questions, we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Yeah. Bye guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you.